What's up, nerds? RMC guy here. Look, this interview's been fine and all, but it's time to kick it up a notch. It's time for the ejector seat.
So we're asking kind of a series of questions. This is gonna be kind of questions we're always gonna ask any guests on our show.
Sure.
Yeah, you ready to sit in the ejector seat?
Oh, I'm in the ejector seat. I'm buckled in.
And is
All
this
right.
rapid fire theme park
Yeah,
style?
is this rapid fire?
Yeah, it'll be pretty fast.
I gotta be ready to whip out all the answers here. Okay, this is great.
Yeah, I think you already answered this one, but I got to check. Are you a
Sure.
fan or an enthusiast?
I'm an enthusiast, definitely. It's in my blood. There's nothing more I can say about that.
I think you mentioned enthusiast like 16 times, so I
Probably,
gathered that one.
probably.
What do you like about theme parks and amusement parks?
Obviously I'm a roller coaster fan, but I love just being in a theme park atmosphere, and also having been an employee there. It's really funny how I kind of watch and see how other employees act at each theme park I go to. And actually, it's kind of funny. I always have this story that at Cedar Point, it was very hot and a lot. Get on, get off the ride. That's it. We don't care. Send the ride. But I went to Kings Island the day after that and just fell in love with the park because everyone was just so friendly, and they really made sure that you had a great time there. And that's something that I always kind of look for.
I
In a
I
theme park.
100% agree with that. When Coaster Bro and I went to Cedar Point for the first time, it was his second time, and we were
Okay.
Cedar Fair employees too, and we recognize that too. Like it's the flagship park, but it just seemed like
Right.
they
It's
just
just
the customer
very get in,
service.
get out. Yep,
Yeah,
I felt the exact same way. And to this day I'm still I don't know if it was something in the air at Kings Island, but they really did a great job.
that's awesome. So, what's your favorite amusement park?
Actually, Kings Island would be my favorite amusement park. I went back in the summer of 2017 with my buddy. We did 4 theme parks in 4 days with 24 hours of driving in between. Do
Whew.
not recommend.
Yeah,
My tour will not be like that because that was absolutely ridiculous. I think by the 4th day, I can remember him looking over at me. It was Kennywood was the last day. The kid was half asleep in line for like the Black Widow ride, and he's like, "Dude, we should just go home." I'm like, "We just got here 2 hours ago, but we were just done. It was not working." But I think Kings Island just really did it for me. They had a great lineup, and
yeah,
like I mentioned, the employees there were really nice.
I love that park. It's one of my
Yeah,
favorites.
It'll be even better this year,
yeah, exactly,
maybe,
exactly.
if it ever opens.
Tell us about your first roller coaster ride.
Yeah, I actually do remember this one. I know some people don't remember their first. I was in first grade. It's a little town in New Jersey, Egg Harbor Township, it's called. It's a little park called Storybook Land. It's themed. It's a really actually a cute park for little kids. I haven't been back since first grade, but it's themed on all these different fairy tales and things like that. And one of the rides was called Bubbles the Coaster. It's one of those little like Miller loops or whatever. And I don't know, the feeling it gave me in my stomach, I was like, wow, I've never felt this on anything before. That's so amazing. And from there, you get on YouTube and you start finding all these POVs, and it just kind of took off like wildfire from there.
That's awesome. What are your top three roller coasters?
All right, so I'd say my top 3 roller coasters are definitely Intimidator's number one, or Intimidator 305, not Intimidator at Carowinds. I'm a huge Intimidator 305 fan. I try and get to King's Dominion every year just because I'm really in love with that ride. Um, I will say, God bless King's Dominion for having the more vest Intamin restraints. I'm 6'8". I don't fit in many rides anymore.
Wow.
I went on Cheetah Hunt this past year, which doesn't have the Intamin vest restraints. I think you can ask my girlfriend. I'm 90% sure I came back to the station crying. Just so painful for me to get on some of these rides these days. And God bless those Intamin vest restraints. Just allow a couple extra inches for someone with, higher shoulders like me. So Intimidator's number one. I have to go with El Toro at number two. I live 5 minutes from Great Adventure, but that ride never fails to amaze me. And I think that's the fun of it, has always kind of been living so close to, and hey, do you guys want to go ride El Toro or something like that? Three is a tough one, actually. I'm I'm gonna go with Sky Rush. I really enjoyed that one at Hershey Park. I thought, it didn't bother me. I mean, it wasn't an over-the-shoulder restraint, so I'd rather deal with it on my thighs than my shoulders. But I never found it to be too uncomfortable, as some people claim. But that's a pretty good one.
This man seeks intensity. I love it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And non-shoulder restraints too.
That's right. Any lap bars is great in my book.
What are your top 3 favorite rides that are non-roller coasters?
Non-roller coasters. I love Demon Drop at Dorney Park. That thing is so much fun. That is just such a surreal experience. Feels very natural free fall compared to some of the drop towers of today.
Yes.
I also liked Falcon's Fury at Busch Gardens Tampa. That was such a different experience, facing the ground, really wild. And then I have to go with the Zipper at any county fair. That thing scares me to death, but when I go on that, I can't stop laughing. There's just something about it that is just so out of control. They're usually held together by like bobby pins or something like that. You don't know if you're going to come flying out of that thing or not.
Yeah, operator smoking a cigarette.
Definitely, yeah. You don't know if you're going to come back alive or not, but I think that's half the fun of it.
I've never been brave enough to ride one, but
they're so nuts. It's just out of control. Control.
I love the padding that's just like in the ceiling of the vehicle, like, or whatever.
I know, it's amazing. It doesn't even do anything. It's just so worn down at that point. You're just sitting on metal, basically. It's hysterical.
What's your biggest guilty pleasure when you're at a theme park?
Oh, I love funnel cakes. I love looking for funnel cakes. I try and find, my girlfriend doesn't like them, but they make at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, they have this strawberry shortcake, kind of fake strawberry shortcake funnel cake. And man, that thing is to die for, but she always makes fun of me for eating something like that.
So it's safe to say that anybody goes on the tour, you're gonna know where all the funnel cakes are.
Oh, you're gonna hear about all the best funnel cakes. You've got that right. And the Great Adventure fudge, I must say, from working there, that's one thing I learned is that the fudge is so beyond underrated.
What's your favorite memory from a park?
Favorite memory from a park? I have so many good ones. I'll bring up 2 actually. I know the ejector seat is supposed to be so rapid fire, and clearly I love talking, but so my first one would be in 2008. I can remember Iron Man 1 came out, and I couldn't drive back then. I was too young, and my dad took me to the movie theater to go see Iron Man one day. He's a pretty big Iron Man fan, and on the way home from the movie theater, I live so close to Great Adventure, we passed the entrance, and I'm thinking nothing of it, and apparently he snuck both of our season passes into his wallet. And right as we were coming up on the turn, we're going straight, I'm thinking nothing. He throws on his blinker and starts moving over towards the Great Adventure entrance. And, he knew I loved roller coasters. I'm saying, Dad, what are you doing? What are you doing? He's like, well, what do you mean? We'll go have a couple hours of fun. It was already getting late. And we just marathoned El Toro for, must have been 3 hours straight. And boy, was that a great memory. And then another one I have, a little bit of homage to New Jersey, would be the Starjet, the old roller coaster that fell into the water during Hurricane Sandy. I went on a Boy Scout trip when I was a lot younger to Seaside, and they had us in tents on the beach. It was like kind of neat, actually, staying at Seaside. And, they gave us an all-day ride pass. Now, during Boy Scouts, there's really not much to do besides make a campfire and kind of hang out, talk about whatever. But we were lucky enough that Casino Pier was like, here, we'll give you all-day ride passes. So we're like, you know what? Let's just go on rides the entire day. And, most of those boardwalks have no lines for anything.
Yeah.
I think we went on that Starjet 50 some odd times. It was just ridiculous. But it was just so funny being with, all the guys in your scout troop and stuff. Just really a fun experience.
All right, last question, but very important. How can our listeners contact you and also sign up for one of these tours?
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys can contact me through my website. That's at themeparktours.org. That's all one word. I have an interested slide where you can put down your email and your phone number and just a little brief message. I get all the messages to my phone, so I can answer everyone if they have any questions or need more information. I'm also very active on Instagram, so if anyone wants to shoot me a DM, by all means, go ahead. I love talking about this stuff, clearly. So we do have a deposit to get on this tour. The deposit is totally refundable if you decide to cancel before March 1st, which is kind of the day where everything's going to be sorted out. So if you're like, hey, I can't make it, I have no problem sending you your money back. But just make sure you let me know before that March 1st deadline. So you basically put in the deposit now. That'll secure your spot on our trip. And then you just pay the remaining balance before March 1st.
Awesome. And we'll put all that information in our show notes. So
Yeah,
people can have access
thank
to
you guys. Yeah, I know it's like a whole mouthful. I hope the people at home have like a pen and pad ready to go.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, Ryan. This has been awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Would love to talk to you guys again at some point. And just this is wonderful, and I really appreciate you guys helping me out with this.